King Charles once memorably said, "I personally feel that a good age for a man to get married is around 30, and it was clear he intended to meet this self-imposed deadline." The future king set about the task with enthusiasm, and a string of close friendships and relationships with princesses, heiresses, and even a second cousin until, in 1981, he finally married Lady Diana Spencer. If some were fleeting romances, other relationships were more serious. Charles had popped the question no fewer than 3 times by the time he met his first wife. Famously, there was even a long on-and-off relationship with Camilla Shand, now Queen Consort. This had originally ended in heartbreak for the prince. He had been away serving with the Royal Navy when, in 1973, he heard that Camilla had become engaged to glamorous army officer Andrew Parker Bowles. Here, Royal Scandal takes a look at the long list of the women who might, if only for a moment, have imagined they'd one day be queen. Hello and welcome to Royal Scandal. Please do well to like, subscribe, comment and turn on the notification bell so as not to miss out on any news updates. Number 1. Lucia Santa Cruz. Charles met Lucia Santa Cruz in 1967 at a dinner party hosted by a mutual friend when he was at Cambridge University. The blonde beauty was the daughter of the then Chilean ambassador to London. She had been working for Lord Rab Butler, Master of Trinity, Charles's college. They dated for 3 years until 1970. It is unknown why the relationship ended. According to Charles's official biographer, Jonathan Dimbleby, it was Lucia to whom he lost his virginity. She was 3 years older than him. Interestingly, it was also Lucia who introduced him to his future wife, Camilla Shand, as she was then known. Dimbleby said Lucia told Charles she had just the girl for the young prince and arranged his first meeting with Camilla. Number 2. Camilla Shand. The love story between King Charles and his wife Camilla, Queen Consort, began more than 5 decades ago. The pair first met when they were both in their early 20s. It has been suggested that Camilla had quipped to the future king, "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-great-grandfather. I feel we have something in common." Over the next few years, the pair became romantically involved. Some royal biographers have suggested Camilla had an ulterior motive to make her future husband, Andrew Parker Bowles, jealous. Known as a ladies' man, Parker Bowles had conducted his own on-off relationship with Camilla, but had been dating other women at the same time, including some of her friends and Charles's own sister, Princess Anne. In her book The Duchess, The Untold Story, Penny Junor wrote, "There was certainly an element of tit-for-tat in Camilla's fling with Charles. Indeed, her principal motivation was to have some excitement and make Andrew jealous. She knew the affair with Charles would never go anywhere, could never go anywhere." They continued to date on and off until 1973, when Charles was sent away on HMS Minerva as part of his Royal Navy training. It was while he was away that Camilla became engaged to Andrew Parker Bowles. Heartbroken, Prince Charles begged Camilla not to marry Andrew the week before her wedding, wrote Ms. Junor. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Camilla and Charles remained friends, with royal biographers suggesting it was purely platonic for a time. Charles became godfather to Camilla's son, Tom. In 2003, the couple moved into Clarence House together before getting married in 2005. They celebrated their 18th anniversary this year. Number 3. Lady Kanga Tryon. In 1966, a 17-year-old Charles spent 2 terms studying at Geelong Grammar School in the Australian state of Victoria. This is where he first met Dale Harper, daughter of a wealthy Melbourne printing mogul. Some years later, she moved to Britain to become a PR officer for Qantas Airlines. She also became the wife of the banker Anthony Tryon, 3rd Baron Tryon, an associate of Prince Charles. In the early 1970s, around the same period he was seeing Camilla, Lady Tyrone, nicknamed Kanga, was also in the picture. Charles was said to have described her as the only woman who ever understood me, but some suggest claim is thought to have begun with Kanga herself. Sadly, Lady Tyrone died just a few months after Princess Diana. Number 4. Lady Jane Wellesley. After his old flame Camilla Shand married Andrew Parker Bowles in July 1973, Charles moved on. The next subject of his attention, 22-year-old Lady Jane Wellesley, the only daughter of the Duke of Wellington. Charles had known Jane since childhood. At the time, many suggested she was in a good position to become Charles's bride. The rumor mill really got going when Charles flew out to Spain to join the Wellingtons on a shooting holiday. At the time, Lady Jane denied there was any romance, stating that the two were just good friends. Few believed her, however. Photographers and reporters camped outside her small terraced house in Fulham, and 10,000 people jammed the Norfolk roads around Sandringham during the New Year's Eve festivities in an attempt to see the woman who could be the country's future queen. She did not enjoy being in the royal spotlight, reportedly saying to Charles, "I don't want another title, I've already got one, thank you." After being questioned over the couple's supposed impending engagement, she once snapped back, according to Tatler, "Do you honestly believe I want to be queen?" Number 5. Davina Sheffield. Following the end of his earlier relationship with Camilla, Charles was eager to be married before 30. He began dating Davina Sheffield, a 5 feet 10 and blonde with a beautiful smile. She was a cousin of Samantha Sheffield, who went on to become the wife of the former Prime Minister David Cameron. Charles was smitten with Davina, so much so that he invited her to Balmoral for the weekend. A friend told the Daily Mail at the time, she and Charles were wonderful together. Davina even earned the approval of the Queen Mother. But their relationship was thrown off course when an ex-boyfriend, powerboat racer James Beard, revealed that he had lived with Davina before she started dating Charles. This brought their relationship to an abrupt end, as royal tradition suggested that Charles would need to marry an unblemished bride. Number 6. Susan George. Susan George is an English film and television actress who shot to fame when she starred in the 1971 thriller Straw Dogs. Susan had been one of 400 guests to join Charles's 30th birthday bash at Buckingham Palace. During the night they were pictured dancing together, which led to a brief romance of candlelit dinners and trips to the theater, the Daily Mail diary editor reported at the time. Susan is now a professional horse breeder. Number 7. Rosie Clifton. Rosie Clifton and Prince Charles dated for a brief period in the 1970s. She went on to marry the brother of Lord Spam Vesti, Mark Vesti. Number 8. Princess Marie Astrid of Luxembourg. In June 1977, the Daily Express was confident that Prince Charles is to marry Princess Marie Astrid of Luxembourg and put it on the front page. Marie was the daughter of the Grand Duke of Luxembourg and Princess Josephine Charlotte, daughter of the former King Leopold and Queen Astrid of Belgium. At the time she was considered to be one of the only eligible princesses in Europe. The Express reporter wrote, "The formal engagement will be announced from Buckingham Palace next Monday." The couple's difference of religion, she is a Roman Catholic, will be overcome by a novel constitutional arrangement. Any sons of the marriage will be brought up according to the Church of England, while daughters will be raised in the Catholic faith. The piece said that the Queen and Prince Philip had assented to this procedure, which also has the approval of church leaders. However, the scoop was untrue. Indeed, the final line of the story read, "Last night Buckingham Palace denied there was to be an announcement of an engagement." The prince had only seen the princess briefly at his investiture as Prince of Wales in 1969 and then again briefly in his university days. The rumors led Charles to authorize a palace press statement, which said, "They are not getting engaged this Monday, next Monday, the Monday after, or any other Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. They do not know each other, and people who do not know each other do not get engaged. The royal family do not go in for arranged marriages." Number 9. Caroline Longman. Charles' relationship with Caroline Longman, daughter of publisher Mark Longman and granddaughter of the 10th Earl of Cavan, was a fleeting affair. The pair were thought to be an item for a brief time in the 1970s. They had been pictured together at polo matches and in his Aston Martin. Caroline was a goddaughter of Queen Elizabeth. Caroline's mother, Lady Elizabeth Longman, was close friends with the Queen and had been one of her bridesmaids in 1947. Number 10. Bettina Lindsay. Lady Bettina Lindsay dated Prince Charles in the 1970s, before he met Princess Diana. On one occasion they were spotted attending the Savoy Theatre for a production of The Secretary Bird, a comedy by William Douglas Home, playwright brother of former Prime Minister Alec Douglas Home. Number 11. Georgiana Russell. The prince was said to have a brief fling with Georgiana Russell, daughter of the former ambassador Sir John Russell. There is little information, nor photos, of their relationship, but in Sarah Bradford's biography of Diana she wrote that Georgiana got fed up with standing in cold Scottish rivers and married someone else. Number 12. Lady Sarah Spencer. Before he married Diana Spencer, he dated her older sister, Lady Sarah, in 1977. For a while, Lady Sarah became the center of speculation surrounding Charles's engagement plans. But those rumors were put to an abrupt end in 1978 while she was on a ski trip with the prince in the Swiss resort Klosters. She told reporters it was a marvelous holiday, but there's no question of an engagement. According to Time magazine, Lady Sarah said, "There is no chance of my marrying him. I'm not in love with him. And I wouldn't marry anyone I didn't love, whether he were the dustman or the King of England." It was during a shooting party the same year at the Spencers' Althorpe estate in Northamptonshire that 29-year-old Charles met 16-year-old Diana. Ahead of Charles and Diana's wedding, in 1981, Sarah said, "I introduced them. I'm Cupid." Number 13. Sabrina Guinness. Sabrina Guinness was believed to be the it girl of her generation, a beautiful woman with long legs and a bright mind. She was a Guinness heiress thanks to her father, James Guinness, who worked on the banking side of the billionaire brewery firm. It was first speculated that Charles and Sabrina might be more than friends when they attended the musical Ain't Misbehavin'. In 1979 they were seen fishing, riding and shooting together. She was said to be the liveliest of Charles's fancies. It all came to a crashing end, however, when Sabrina allegedly failed the so-called Balmoral test. The Queen was displeased that she had decided to sit in Queen Victoria's chair and was snubbed by Prince Philip. Upon arriving at Balmoral, the heiress joked that the transport bringing her to the castle was like a Black Maria, a type of police van. Unamused, the prince snapped back, "Well, you'd know all about Black Marias, wouldn't you?" The relationship failed to flourish after this rocky start, leading them to break up 9 months into their courtship. Sabrina went on to date countless A-listers from all over the world, including Mick Jagger, Paul McCartney, Michael Douglas, and Rod Stewart. She remained single for 34 years until she married the playwright Sir Tom Stoppard, 17 years her senior, in 2013. Number 14. Jane Ward. In 1979, Prince Charles briefly dated Jane Ward. They were seen together at polo parties, with claims he once seduced her in the bushes. They also enjoyed the privacy of her secluded cottage in Windsor. Number 15. Lady Amanda Knatchbull. Lady Amanda Knatchbull was another woman to whom Prince Charles had proposed. As second cousins, the pair already each other through her grandfather, Lord Mountbatten, who was Prince Philip's maternal uncle and close to Charles. Before his death, Lord Mountbatten had encouraged Charles to propose to Amanda. While dating, they were seen in the Bahamas together. In his 2007 biography, Charles, the Man Who Will Be King, wrote how fond Lady Amanda was of the future monarch. He said, "She was equally impressed with his energy, enthusiasm, sense of fun, kindness, and modest self-deprecation," he wrote. "She was indeed a very sensible and loving girl, who genuinely did share all the same interests as the heir to the throne." In 1980, having passed his self-ordained deadline to be married by 30, Charles proposed to Amanda. Number 16. Anna Wallis. Anna Wallis became known as the woman who Charles proposed to twice. The daughter of wealthy Scottish landowner Hamish Wallis, Anna was dubbed by the press Whiplash because of her fearless attitude and great horsemanship. In 1980 the couple started dating, but after a year the relationship ended following a furious row at a ball to honor the Queen Mother's 80th birthday. She had largely been ignored by Charles during the event, Tatler reported. Not only that, the Prince of Wales had spent much of the night dancing with former lover Camilla Parker Bowles. It was reported at the time that she had shouted, "I have never been so badly treated before in my life. No one treats me like that. Not even you." Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.